Well, today is just going to be a day. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about e-bikes, but I'm going to talk a little bit about my lovely bride. So stick around. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, you know, I usually try on these videos to keep it topic related on an e-bike, but today I'm just going to give a little shout out to my wife. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what she's like, and I guess we could say this is sort of related to e-bikes because it was because of the e-bikes that kind of reminded me of this. But look at that arm right there. See how it doesn't come out the way it's supposed to come out? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened with that. And the reason that I bring that up, how you doing? The reason that I bring that up is because somebody had mentioned about wearing gloves and because you get road rash. Well, I kind of know about that because you do stick your hands out when you fall. Only problem is when I fell, I usually fell from a longer distance and kind of was launched. So, but that happened right around January the 2nd, 2010. And I remember that because my dad passed away on Christmas Day, 2009. And I got back from the funeral on the 1st. And I went back to work the next day. And I was working a colt. And I knew he was a pretty scared little colt. And he struck me. And he took my wrist. And I'll wait until this bike comes by me here. He took my wrist and folded it back over like that. And I sat there watching that happen, and I thought, boy, 10 years ago you'd have been out of there, but you're getting a little older now. And I just didn't get moved in time. And I was still distracted from my dad's passing because that hit me pretty hard. You know, I just wasn't really expecting that. And so I went to the doctor and, you know, hey doc, how long is it going to be this time? And I remember telling him right before we did the surgery. Now Dr. Bill Sue knows me because he's fixed me several times. And I told him right before he did the surgery, he did an external fixator on that. If you look closely at this arm here, it has scars from an external fixator as well. And this other one has been broken 2 or 3 times. But I said, Doc, I'm playing the classical guitar and I want to make sure I'm still able to play the classical guitar when this is done. So, you know, do a good job. And he says, oh, Blaine, don't you worry about it. You'll be fine. And about 6 months later, something in that framework, I was going in and I told him, coming by on your left. I had mentioned to him that, hey, indeed, I am back to playing guitar and I want to thank you. And he says, you know, I remember you saying about that. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really didn't think you'd ever be able to play again. It's been shattered so badly. And I said, so what you're trying to tell me is that the next time I come in here and you say I'm going to be all right, you're lying to me. Is that what you're trying to say, Dr. Bill Sue? He said, well, let me tell you something, Blaine. Next time I see you come through that front door, I'm walking out the back door because it's about time for me to retire anyway. And so that's the day I'll retire. But anyway, so we went on, you know, and I pushed it with a therapy and got back to, you know, playing guitar and able to hold my bar chords. And I played a classical guitar, so there's a lot of difficult chords there. but I got to where I could get the majority of them in there. And I told Michelle, I said, let me tell you something. If I ever met John Williams, I'd thank him, because he's the reason that my arm, I pushed it so hard to get it back like I did. Now, if you don't know who John Williams is, there's two of them that are in the music industry. One of them is a composer. He did the soundtrack for, like, I think Jurassic Park, I know Star Wars, Schindler's List, that type of thing. The other John Williams is arguably the most technically advanced guitarist, classical guitarist in the world. He was technically better than Segovia was. Segovia would even admit that. I'm not going to say he was better, because Segovia was a pioneer. You know, he was the first with this. But the guy is world-renowned, great guitarist. But anyway, I told Michelle, I says, you know, if I ever had the chance, I'd thank him, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never had my arm back the way it is. And so, blah, 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 we went on, and Christmas 2010, she was kind of really almost giddy about what she was getting me, and I couldn't figure it out, what it might be, but finally, I went ahead and opened it up. And there was tickets to the last time John Williams was going to appear in the United States. They were in Philadelphia. And not only were there tickets there, there was a pass to get backstage and talk to him. And she looked at me and she says, good chance he's never going to show up on our little farm here. So maybe you better go to where he is, and you need, if you want to thank him, you're going to have to go to where he is. So we went from North Carolina up to Philadelphia, and I got to meet him in person. I got to go to his concert, the last concert he did in the United States. And I got to go backstage, and I got to meet him, and I told him exactly what had happened and why I had recovered the way that I did, because of listening to the music that he does and the desire to do that. And I think he kind of actually appreciated that, because, you know, as musicians, I think a lot of times they don't really feel like they make a real change. But he did with me. He did with me. So, but let me tell you who else really made a change, is that bride of mine. And so, you know, even though this is not e-bike related, I wanted to toss a little shout out to Michelle. That's just, you know, I kind of pick at her sometimes. I'll say that. I talked to her about her attention to detail being her best friend and her worst enemy. That right there is an example where it's her best friend. Heck, it was my best friend on that. So, but hey, put down in the comments what your significant other has done, maybe. Check that out. I'd love to get a little conversation about that going. So, hey, that's going to wrap it up for this one. It's a short and sweet one. Like I said, I've not got a real e-bike related topic that I'm going to talk about today, but I got a topic that's near and dear to my heart that I did talk about. So that's going to do it for this time, Internet. Hey, you see I'm out here with my Santa helmet too. Till the next time, Internet, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels turning. Once again, we're out.